Hold on. Says we're on air.
Sweet.
Alright, cool.
This isn't awkward
What happened?
at all.
Oh, I put up Google. So look, we're ahead of schedule today.
Ahead of schedule.
Yeah.
Struggled yesterday and ahead of schedule today. We'll find that middle. But I guess welcome back. You know,
How do you know there's even anybody watching?
I don't care. Because we always watch it later, right? You know, at the end of the thing. We ended up cutting off yesterday, and I know that we said we were going to do it both days.
There it is.
From,
It's 4
from now
watching.
on. 4.
Oh my gosh.
Good. We ended up cutting off yesterday.
Oh, shush. I hate that.
We had a lot of questions left. There were a lot of good questions. Again, we're brand new at this. It's fun. It was a great conversation. A lot of great responses. You guys, it was fun and pretty chill. So I think the one question I missed, and it was a really good one. I kept looking at it, and then I would get carried away, and I kept going back and forth. But we reread everything, and some people were asking. And I'm going to take a minute before I even go on and let some people sign on, but the canopy, you guys, people were asking what were the advantages and the disadvantages, the weight difference, and I think really there's only one disadvantage, and it's the weight. It's where you put the weight. It's basically me being 45 pounds heavier and right in the part of the chassis that wants to flex. So it's, you look at that and you go, wow, okay, that's a big disadvantage. You need to move. But the advantage is life. It's pretty simple. I've been over the wall. You guys have, if you haven't seen my crash, just put Tony Schumacher in Google. The first thing that pops up, crash. And, when you're flying through the air at 330 miles per hour, it's kind of one of them things where, you start thinking, I do appreciate the weight, but, I had tree limbs come in and stab me. I had stuff sticking out of me and broken bones, and that canopy encapsulates it. It keeps parts and pieces away from you. So I don't know. It was a kind of a no-brainer when I called my crew chief. I called Mike and said, what is the weight difference? And it doesn't, he said, it doesn't matter when it's cool out. When it's cool out, it makes no difference at all. I think, when it's hot out, and that car needs to get up in the middle to allow the back to plant and the back to really see some racetrack, surface area, that wing, and all that stuff, and the angle, and all that makes a big difference. So, safety, there's kids, we put on, seat belts, 7-layer fire suits. When you get in your car and forget to buckle, and trust me, they just, for my youngest, my middle son, he forgets all the time. So I just forgot, put your seatbelt on. It's not that he doesn't want it.
But it dings, ding, ding, ding.
Yeah, ding, makes me crazy, and he doesn't even. He's staring at his phone, so it does. It doesn't.
Me?
Matter. Not you.
The other one.
The other one. Middle kid. Anyway, welcome back. Look forward to answering more questions and clarifying some stuff. I think this is cool. We changed our area, different parts of the house here, but the trophies are awesome. They're always a pleasure to look at, even if I've been off for more than half a year now. But those are my pride and joy, the helmets. I've always...
That's your dad's flag, right?
yeah, that's my dad's flag.
Oh, wait. Make room so they can see it.
I don't know which way I gotta turn.
There you go.
Anyway, so, I got some cool guitars. These are trophies, I have some
Don't wanna
cool
tilt the
stuff.
camera?
No,
So
I
you
got
can show
guitars
off.
hanging here, and, my practice tree sits in the back, and we have a car that was
We just
actually
like
crashed.
to call this the shrine.
Yeah, it's the me room. When I need to feel some love, I just come here and look at
around,
pictures of me,
pictures of himself,
trophies, and whatever.
So tonight, so we can keep up with the comments a little more fluently,
Hi,
would you
Dwayne.
say? Yeah. Hi, Dwayne Loven. He says, of course we're watching. It's nice to see you again.
I don't even have to read. I know you like Summer's dress.
No, Marie likes
Eyes
my
on
dress.
me, okay?
Steve Lundaby? Steve Lundaby says, hello, Tony. Hope to see you in Phoenix next year.
Me too. I'm going to try to keep the answer short, but, I love Phoenix. By the way, this helmet, point right there,
Dude,
That old one?
No, it's an Exide Batteries helmet on the right. This one right here. That was the helmet. It was the first one to ever go 330 miles per hour.
Oh.
You know, it's kind of a cool deal.
That is a cool
and,
deal.
And we were talking because we saw, oh gosh, I think Robert Height ran 335 this weekend, and you know, other drivers, and they comment on, oh my gosh, he's 4 miles per hour faster. Back in that day, it was still quarter mile, and we ran 330, and the world record was 326. So we were 4
Oh, that's
miles.
a lot.
And it took 3 years, I think, for any other car to do that. And it was 330.23. It was a pretty awesome run. Yep.
Sometimes I catch him upstairs with the helmet on, trying to relive memories, but I don't know, we're not gonna.
He's like, Dad, you don't
Should we
shift
talk?
on the
We're
car.
not allowed to talk about it.
I don't care. You can run dirt on me all I want. That's my room. When you have a room like this, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Oh.
When you have your own room, you can do what you want.
Oh yeah, you can't see it. Should I show them on the camera? We have a whole.
Got a practice tree. We have one of our crashed cars. You know, we take it apart. We get the front and the back off, which is actually how a car is built. Cars are built in 3 sections. You'll never get it back to the stage run. You got a good. You sure you want to change?
I can try.
He's going to get us from down below where we have 3 chins.
There it is. Here's the car. It's just a
Oh.
section of one. It's the cage right here, and then the tree that he actually. Yeah, it's a live tree. It's really neat. Uh oh.
See,
You're right.
crooked,
Uh oh.
and you'll never get it. Ha Close.
That's pretty good.
Not bad. A little crooked, but
Nah, it's pretty
they
good.
can just. If we're crooked,
Just tilt your head a
tilt-
little bit.
Yeah. I don't know about that.
Yeah. There. That.
I don't know. I can't tell.
I mean,
Just comment
I
if it's
can't
crooked.
see that far away.
That trophy at the top here, the very top, upper left, it's got just all black in the front. That helmet set the world record, the run, which most questions come about that. 2006 wore that all year, last run of the year, kind of Darth Vader looking, you know. Put it away in a trophy case after that. It was one of them things, never be touched again, just stare at it. And a year goes by, and I got 2007, we went to this countdown thing where it actually tiered. It went, you ran a first bunch of races, and then it went down to 8 drivers and 4 drivers, and get to the last race of the year, and Hot Rod Fuller, all he's got to do is qualify, make one round. When he wins one round, he's the champ. And I put that helmet on, and Alan Johnson was the crew chief.
What is he talking about?
I'm just
The
babbling
helmet.
about my helmets. We'll wait for some questions to pop up.
Oh yeah. If you have any questions, this is another Q&A. Yeah. Q&A, I
always.
suppose. Here you go.
Always.
Just leave something
But-
here, and we'll read it.
He went out and smoked the tires first round. And it was me, Dixon, Bernstein, and Hot Rod. Those were the 4 left. I had to race them each along the way, and ended up winning the race and beat Bob Vandergriff in the final. But that helmet, after that, it was just put away. Because 2 great years. I almost want to put it on now. I could use a little luck, but whatever. I'm not going to put it on now, so it's okay. But good times, Back to the canopy. And you guys can chime in on this. These 2 got to watch. It's one of them things. I get in the car. I know what my risks are. I know the risks because, like I say in every speech, I wear a fire suit in case I'm on fire. I wear lots of seat belts in case I crash. I'm in a roll cage in case I roll. There's guardrails. There's a paramedic on the start line and a helicopter at the finish line to take me to the hospital. I get it. It's everyone else. It's the family and the friends. The canopy's important, man. Like, they want me to come home, pay the bills, that kind of stuff. Be here.
Yeah, that's why we want you to come home.
Yeah.
I mean, usually.
Wait, hold on. How much is that life insurance check?
Yeah.
I don't think I'm on his life insurance yet, so.
Oh boy. So it's just me. Am I the beneficiary? Better
I'm
watch
way
myself.
worth more dead.
I don't know.
First of all, I got to hi to everyone at Schumacher Electric. I didn't give you guys a shout out yesterday. I got so many friends and so many great people that have worked there for a long time. We love you guys, and you're our foundation. So thanks for all the support and for all the fans that have garages full of our battery chargers. And if you don't fill it, it's important. When your car doesn't start, it's nice to have one of our stuff. So
Hi, Brandon from the Gator Nationals.
Brandon from the Gator Nationals.
Yeah.
God, all the races, I regret missing this year. That's it.
It's a big
It
stadium.
was a a big year for the Gator Nationals, huge venue, and
Why else was it a big year?
I wasn't there.
No.
50th?
No.
What?
Because it was my birthday.
Oh!
But come, it's your birthday.
We're gonna cut this
every
part. Wait,
year.
is this live? It's live. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm not gonna get you. I'm just gonna go win you a trophy, and then there I am on the sidelines.
He stole a trophy. They had to make a replacement just in case. But
I mean, we got a couple laying around.
You can
that aren't
change out
technically
the
ours.
thing.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Sally.
Yeah,
Yeah, we had a little plaque made.
that's a great race. What do you guys? What race is your favorite? I will tell you my 3 or 4 favorites. I love Gainesville.
Good job
Love the
remembering,
town.
guys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
whatever. Anyway.
I'm sorry.
I love Indy. Obviously, we won Indy 10 times, and I really don't want to miss this one. I'm working in every way to get back. Even if we just run one race this year, that's the one. You can't let 1 year slide in the middle of your career and do that. Love Sonoma, California, and love Denver. Those are really the 4 of my favorites. Bristol's pretty darn good too, and I never talk about the ones I don't like because I hate mentioning Atlanta. Anyways.
Oh, I was just gonna say, what was it?
Only because I haven't won it. It's not like I don't like the people in Atlanta. I love it. Enjoy the Olympics back in, I think, 96. It was awesome. But town's great. I just can't win that race. I get beat all the time. I think Torrance, actually, he has one of my helmets. He beat me, I think, in Atlanta. It was his first win, and he won in my helmet. So
Yeah, he joked around that this is his first year that he didn't lose in Atlanta.
that was a big deal. This is the first year that I
First
did
year,
not
no
get
one beat him.
in Atlanta. Yeah, kind of fun. A little trivia, whatever. But yeah, these rooms are cool, man.
Oh, wait, we're getting more comments. We better
my
keep
gosh.
Sorry.
Norwalk, I live 20 minutes away. Matthew Pullard.
Yeah. Norwalk could.
Indy.
We talked about this yesterday. I keep forgetting. I'm trying not to recover what we did yesterday, but I forgot that half the people didn't want it today and half yesterday, so may not have heard some of the things yesterday. But Norwalk and
I'm going to just keep this on
are
the
both
website.
awesome, but they're small. They're grassroots. Great fans. They remind me, and they remind, from what I talked to with all the other drivers, kind of what it was like to be, racing Super Comp and Super Street. Well, we all grew up. It was those local tracks, and that's just a great one. Plus the Kalahari, we love going there. When the kids were little, you race, and go home and jump right in the water park. It's awesome. What you got?
Hey, Tony, are you going to be up at Seattle, Washington?
I'm not going to be in Seattle. That's actually this weekend. So, yeah, I've won that race, I think, 5 times. It's a good race for me. Another small venue, too. You feel all those trees, man. And the hardest part there, if you're up there and if you race up there, later in the day, you're staring at the sun. We actually pause. And there's no lights there. So when the top fuel cars are running or funny cars are running and the sun gets to a certain point, we just can't see. At 300 miles an hour, it's nice to see. I recommend it.
I'm going to say one more thing. If the audio is off or if the frame rate's
we
low.
just got a text from Dwight, and he said perfect sound, clear video.
Okay,
so thank
great.
you,
I
Dwight,
tried
for
to-
always helping us.
Thank you. Love you, Dwight.
Love you, bye.
Tony still got that photo I gave when we got on TV.
Oh, boy. I have no idea.
We've moved houses a few times in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Still in Lakewood, though.
Yeah. Well, you can't see the guitars in here, but I traded a few of these for helmets, believe it or not. Sammy Hagar's, Michael Anthony's, and got one downstairs from Billy Gibbons. And I do play the guitar. I will not be playing today.
He plays the guitar better than he says.
Worse than people would like to hear. Maybe better than I say.
You play that one George Strait song pretty good.
Telephone rang about 8:45.
I didn't say
We
you sang
said
it well.
we would never
Heard
bring
his
it up
voice.
again.
Oh, yeah.
We're feeding it at this point. That's all.
But hey, I got a good microphone now. That's probably
No.
that's what the problem used to be. Was
Yeah, it was the microphone,
cheaper
baby.
microphone.
It's such a pretty
Yeah.
microphone. You can't
Yeah.
have someone in front of it.
Oh, sorry. What else we got?
Whoa, I've not been keeping up.
Oh, I was going to start the show. Darn it. I was going to start the show by saying today we'll be speaking of religion and politics.
Oh, no.
And I thought I would just get these two fired up because that's a no-no. We all get that. Mm-hmm. And if y'all want to know all my beliefs, you can text me.
We're getting more questions.
You
Sorry.
don't want to know his beliefs. Moving on.
Flat Earther over here. For legal reasons, that's a joke.
Nothing beats high school speeches, and it was an honor to introduce the man who drives the... Am I allowed to say this? You can read it for yourself.
Nasty, sexy beast?
Yes.
Oh, well, I know who that is.
Oh,
because
Wiggins,
I
baby.
read those speeches. Yeah.
SFC Wiggins.
The nasty, sexy beast.
We're gonna do it. We're gonna do this now. He's going out of town, so this week he's going up to Wisconsin. So we're gonna skip next. Will you leave Wednesday?
Oh, we'll do it the day I get back.
Yeah, we'll do one and we'll post it, and then we'll start a series. And we're gonna do some fun ones. We'll talk about racing. We'll talk about how to stage cars. Really important. We'll do an episode or part of one on what we're doing for sponsorship, because everyone does it different. And I'm gonna tell you, when I started out with the Peak Brothers in Top Fuel, and even before that,
your knees.
We rode.
Look at how shiny your knees are, Dad. What do you put on your knees?
Lotion, man.
He didn't want to be ashy.
They're pristine.
You got pristine knees, babe.
Yeah. Look at them go.
My feet too. They're very delicate fit. I didn't walk in there.
He has cute feet.
Whatever.
Oh, you're delicate.
Anyway, where were we?
I
Not
don't
the
know.
question. I was talking.
You
Oh,
were talking about next
we'll do
time.
stage
I've been trying to-
sponsorship.
I thought this was-
Sponsorship, right?
Touch
We're going to talk about the correct way to approach people. Like
The
we
entire
haven't
time.
locked a sponsor up, but we know how to do it, right? You still have to find the right people, but there's a process.
There's people
so.
asking questions.
All right, well, tell me what the questions are.
I've got to
What are
answer
the
a question,
questions?
please.
Hold on, I gotta find where we were. Tony, is there any chance of NHRA going back to a fourth mile? We talked about this yesterday.
Yeah, but some people weren't listening.
And also, in addition, putting restrictions on blowers and fuel systems, etc.
Well, that's what they would have to do, and I think I don't know that it's NHRA trying to make a decision. I think it's insurance. I'm not part of, I don't work for the company. I mean, I race in their sanctioning body, so I'm not speaking for them. But I would assume that their insurance people have come forward, after we lost Coletta, and said, you got to shorten the tracks. Can't be lengthened. There's no more land. You can't. Some tracks you can, but most of them you can't. So I just don't see it. And I know that they say, why don't we race, the tracks like Vegas that are long? Why don't we race quarter mile at some?
That would be weird.
It's just weird because parts and pieces are built for a certain thing.
That'd be weird.
It would be changing a lot.
It'd be
It'd be
complicated.
extremely complicated and expensive. It's hard enough. We are in the most simple sport in the world, right? All I got to do to win a race and get a championship trophy is go 1,000 feet straight.
There's people asking more questions.
Sorry. That should be so easy, but it is the most complicated because you got to do it quicker and faster than awesome other teams. It's not an easy thing. And if you're going to add elements, we can't even explain staging to fans. We try on TV all the time. It's hard. I'm going to do it though.
Okay. Yeah. Well, he can spend an entire episode of this
I could
just
do a
explaining.
year on it.
Yeah, and he'd have
The
one
class.
viewer. So can we move on?
The viewer would be you, just to support him.
It'd be
Just to-
Dwight.
Dwight,
Yeah, Dwight.
Dwight and Bubba.
How long will you race before you decide to retire?
That's a really good question. I don't want to retire. I don't know. At some point, you won't be as good, but I felt like I drove last year as good as I drove, so I love what I do, and what am I going to do? Speeches and podcasts and, it's what I love doing. Run a race team and watch everyone else do what I love doing. I don't think it's going to be a while. I really, really like it. 10 more years,
At
the
least.
At least, yeah, because I'm young,
Yeah, he's young.
Unless you talk to these
He's young.
two-ish.
We had
He's
a-
young-ish. You beat me.
I can drive a long time, and
He's young compared to John Force. That's what he's trying to say, right?
I'm younger than him.
Yeah.
That's correct, and he's still out there
And
doing
he's
it.
still doing good.
He's
So-
barely younger, but
Barely younger.
he'll catch up eventually.
I hope. When I was 26 and started driving a race car, okay, we lost Blaine Johnson in a crash at my first race. From that
Asking
moment on, I
questions.
just thought every day I wasn't going to get to the next day. It's a different way to live. So I'm happy I'm this age. Surprised.
You're still here.
Yeah, you
Sorry.
almost didn't make it. Okay, sucks, but that's not gonna be. Wait. Okay, sucks. That's you're not going to be there, but love to see you're still up and going, my man. You're my only driver.
Aww.
Love it.
That's so
Have
sweet.
had some great responses like that. Totally appreciate it. Got a lot of comments, and even NHRA has said, look, when you go on TV, the viewership goes up,
Yeah.
but the stands are a little bit not, and what do you, I need to get back out there. I need to do what I do. Later in life, I'll go on, and whether it's Fox, and we hope it is, they're doing a good job. I'd love to commentate. It's actually pretty cool. It's good sitting up in there and chatting. Go ahead.
Back 1738 says, I'm trying to get 2 tickets next year to the U.S. Nationals for my dad's birthday. And this is just adorable. Matthew Pollard says, my 8-year-old son Ethan is your biggest fan and he's watching with me. He said that you better get a sponsor, lol.
I agree. 8-year-olds are the smartest too, so you
are.
are right. I'm going to get one.
He is so
and
right.
then, where are you guys from? I mean, you come up at the races. I'm bar none the easiest driver to find. If you don't have my autograph or some photos, you have not tried. You've been in the force line too long, because I'm always at the ropes. We had a chat the other day. We were just sitting there and talking about our different drivers at DSR, and I don't mix the fuel. I don't do it. I stand out there and sign because I think when you pay good money, you deserve that.
So there are 2. Yeah, you're very good at that. There's 2 that are in the same
Oh gosh.
category, and I love it. How about an exhibition grudge match between Tony and the Don? And then there's another one that says, what are the chances of you and your dad facing off on the track?
I mean, I will do it.
Okay.
I remember how. I don't, I think it'd be awesome. Look, I grew up, and my dad, when I was 5, he quit racing funny cars, right? And he wore a suit and tie to work every day, and he built Schumacher Electric into a marvelous company, employs a couple thousand people, does a great job at what he does. I forgot until I got older that he used to roll out of funny cars on fire, and he's a bad to the bone dude. So it would be cool. Every time he gets an itch and says, I'm going to get in the car, Sarah says, absolutely not. His wife says, you're not doing that. And I get it.
Maybe just like a side-by-side, like hot rod, not full
That'd be fun.
dragsters or funny
That'd
cars.
be fun.
Just,
Maybe we'll do the like factory stuff.
Like they got those guys to go
Yeah.
out and do those electric cars or whatever.
that draw a crowd.
Remember?
Just
I'd
Who
like
is
to.
that?
You know what? You know who has always wanted to do that with me is Big Daddy, and he said if I get to race somebody, and I think it's a compliment when they ask him who he'd put in a car, and he says I'd put Tony in the car. If you could flip that, he'd have been my first pick and everyone's first pick. That guy made our sport grow, and built it to what it is. Yeah.
wait, have you ever thought of going to funny car? I guess back to funny car.
Well, I ran alcohol funny car for a couple of years, and that was where I was intended to go. Peak Brothers, when I blew the car up in Martin, Michigan, blew the funny car body off. Back in '96, the bodies weren't invented. They're so much different now. They're amazing. They had no burst panels on the bodies. They had no it saw pressure and it blew the body in half. And I was out of parts and pieces. And I called the Peak Brothers, and they offered me a job in Top Fuel, and that's what it is. But I'm going to have to drive funny cars soon. I cannot go my
I think
whole
it would be
career.
really cool if you did.
Yeah, it would be. Cool.
Just
I think
even
it'd
if it
be
was
cool.
like a fluke, like
Just
a 1 or
to
2 time
test
thing.
it. Just
Yeah.
go out there and just
That'd be cool.
for sure.
What's the worst track on the circuit for you? I mean, like besides Atlanta, of course. I mean, I know you'll win. There it is. I know you'll win Atlanta soon. I don't
He's gonna
doubt
win
that.
Atlanta.
But what is the worst track you've raced on?
Memphis. I crashed there twice.
Mm-hmm.
Twice. But Bernstein crashed there against me. Everyone. I mean, it was just an undulating track. Here's the thing about a Top Fuel car. They're long. They bend and
That's
they
his
move.
word.
Yeah,
Undulating?
undulating.
You
That's
know.
his word.
Well,
We'll look it
I'm
up
going to golf
for
this
fun.
weekend.
All right.
Undulating.
Well, let's
He's gonna
answer the
call
next
us.
question. I want to fact check him.
It's true.
Evening, y'all. This is a good question for you. What makes you uncomfortable? How do you deal with the stress?
Ooh, man, what a good question.
How do you spell undulating? That's an even better
Sound
question.
it out, because he does not know, I promise.
I will guarantee you I don't know what to start with on that.
I'm thinking you.
Probably.
Undulating.
Anyway,
It's a real
what
word.
makes me uncomfortable? I think, wow, that's a great question. I'm pretty chill in a car. Sitting in it for a long, long period. When you sit in it and you want to get out, and the safety sorry says 10 minutes and 20 minutes go by and you're still there.
And you drank 2 bottles of water.
Yeah, because you're.
2 bottles.
Sometimes
'Cause it's 100
just
degrees.
hot. It's 100 degrees. It's 200 degrees in the car. I stay calm because I am trained at what I do. Okay, for the 8-year-olds listening, for the young ones, here's the way I would like to answer that question. If you prepare, if you're really good at your job, right, the uncomfort goes away. I'm fearful I won't live up to my own whatever it is. Your accent, fearful. I'm fearful that I won't live up to my own expectations. I don't have to, please everyone. It's me, man. I'm the biggest critic, and I think I go into it trained. Little thing, if you study for the test is easy. I'm studying, man. I know how to drive a race car. I know all about it. I know where it's going to be, what it's going to do. It can break in half at any time. I get that. I have no fear of that. I'm prepared. I'm in the car. I have all the equipment in the world.
It's got no fear.
No fear whatsoever.
Anyway, I hope I answered that. Right. What's next? This fun.
What is? Wait, no. I saw that one. Ohio. We are at Norwalk every year. We hang out at DSR pits all day. This is Matthew Porter again.
That's part of the, DSR. My father, when we started, it was one car, Exide batteries. That paint job in the middle, that pink car, and I wanted pink fire suit. You know what?
And he was so cute.
Pink. And
he always goes, "Oh God, who's that dork in the pink suit?"
And how did my friends not beat me up, man? You see my haircut back then?
Yeah, you used to have hair.
It was so cute.
It was terrible.
Yeah, dude, that was like a great '90s haircut.
Whatever.
You fit right in. Today you might get beat up. Back then.
He had the hot guy in the 90s haircut. Have you seen that meme where it was like, if a guy had this haircut, there was 100% chance he was going to steal your girl? And it was like the guy from Home Improvement, Saved by the Bell, like all of them.
I'd like to apologize to all the guys I did that to if you're out there. Probably not on my podcast.
Yeah, they're probably not watching
They're actively avoiding you.
Yeah, I'm trying to be a better guy nowadays.
Yeah, sure you are.
Good job, baby.
Oh, you're here.
Alyssa Rego, and this is a question that I actually had. Alyssa Rego asks, "Can I work for your race team? It's always been a dream of mine to work on a top fuel team."
Man, that is a phenomenal question.
Like, how would you get in?
Well,
like that?
we like there's different tech schools around, right? And we hire people like Western Tech, and there's places you go, and they're kind of feeders. But a lot of people, we need CDL drivers, right? Every one of my crew guys are CDL licensed. We start you in hospitality almost always. We got to watch the work ethics. And it goes back to, I need to see your report card, man. I'm going to get in a car and go 300 miles an hour. If you can't pass a test in school that you know is coming because the teacher tells you and you know where the answers are, how do I trust that you're going to work on my car? And I need to live, and I need people who are able. These cars break anyways. So we have a lot of women working in hospitality. We have a lot of women working on cars. We have a lot of women in the sport now, driving them and working in the pits. I mean, we had a girl worked in hospitality for years, now doing the clutch on Scott Palmer's car.
I miss her.
Yeah, she's awesome. She's just so.
Anyway. We're gonna
go ahead. I'm getting long.
See it around. So again, if you have any questions, just leave them in the comments.
He might get around to it.
He might. Yeah, I'm trying to hit everyone.
I want to answer the whole thing. I can't answer part of a question.
Have you ever done? Oh my God, a short answer question in school must have been hard for you. What are the trophies behind you, as well as the different helmets? Nice collection of helmets.
That's cool. 4 of the champ trophies. I really don't know where the other 4 are. I'm guessing at the shop in Indy. My dad has, even the ones I have here, he's got replicas. The shop is.
You said one of them is at Fort Hood.
One's at Fort Hood, yeah. We won in 2009, and they had a pretty bad event down there, driving the Army car. We loaded the trailer up. We drove it in the race car trailer down. Had a day of healing. It was pretty cool. Gary Sinise was there, and Dana Carvey, and the singer from Stained. We presented them with the World Champ trophy. It was nice. The helmets, man, that's a phenomenal little collection. It's not all of them. I have some in storage, but some of those helmets won 9 races in a year. World records. That's the last helmet. That one, the 10th Indy. It goes on and on.
You should show them that one behind you.
Which one? Oh, yeah, this one.
This is the Crashing Sucks one. This is the one from his.
Can't see it.
Sorry, no. I mean.
Oh, you can see it.
Yeah, you can see it on that.
Yeah, that one
catching up.
Flew over the wall. It's got all the cracks and dings. It's got, and I don't touch it often because it's still got all the fingerprints from the safety people ripping it off. It's covered in mud, dust, and dirt. That was a brutal crash. The rear wing snapped off, and crashes, they always happen for a reason, and you can always try to fix stuff. I know I got questions, but you can answer and fix things. Our car, in my opinion, back to the canopy, we're proactive. We say, if this happens, we need to keep these drivers safe, and that's why we make our drivers, drive for us. They're inside of them. By far safer. 45 pounds heavy because we have to have fire bottles in the fresh air.
Okay. Dwayne Loven says Maria's first race was you signing in the rain on one of your least fave tracks, Memphis for Kids. It was her first race, and you made her a lifelong impression.
Oh.
That's awesome. You made a lifelong impression. That's
Very cool.
that was a good answer. It was pretty
Short.
short. Yeah. Very cool. That's just
Very cool.
that's our answer for the rest of the. What do you think about Larry Dixon's 2-seater? He takes people on the track with.
I think it's so.
Wait,
cool.
is that real?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know that I'm not following it, but I think he was suspended,
Yeah.
and I think it was something to do with the tag on the chassis.
Takes
But
people for a ride.
I think that no matter what the cost would have been, it would have been worth it. And for people to get I wish you could really. Everyone that comes to a drag race could do it once, because once you respect that fear, that's right?
Fear. Yes.
Once you respect that fear, racing becomes so much more exciting. Like we don't just get in the car and race; we get in the car and overcome the fear, and it's brutal, man. Like the question about what is uncomfortable after you crash, getting back in a car, that's uncomfortable. You can hear your heart beating over an 11,000 horsepower engine. It's you just got broken up and you're back in a car doing it again. And I think the kids, you guys, you wanting to do this stuff, that's something you're gonna have to. The coolest part about it is facing it. That's exciting. You get the drawback of the pain and that, but the fear is good to me.
If you like that kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, some people have it. I can't do an office job.
Yeah.
I could not sit at a desk. That's my personality, my thought process. It's short attention span, power, battle.
Doesn't seem like a short attention span.
Oh, sorry. Long speeches. I've been doing speeches for too long. I've had to entertain too many people for too long. That's why I talk so much. Go ahead.
Here's one by, I'm not going to try to pronounce that name. Never mind. Xenotykes?
Okay.
Have you ever had a staging battle in Top Fuel?
Absolutely. All the time. I mean, every time we race, it's a battle. And the people that are going to mess with you. I've had people, I won't mention names because I don't want them to know they got one coming back, but they do.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Well, no, I've had people that literally get out of the car and go, "Oh, my crew chief told me to. He told me to take my time." And you're fogging up in there, and before Canopy, we don't fog up anymore because we got fresh air. So that's another problem solved.
Man, you're holding a grudge from back then.
Oh, he doesn't even race anymore. I got a couple guys now that I still got a couple. Most of us stage the car and let the car and the driver do. But every now and then you get someone that's in a big moment and they always have the excuse that their brakes weren't holding or blah, blah, blah. And then you come back and do it again. And I think, and one of the questions yesterday, by the way, was a really good question, was do you like to stage first or last? And we talked about that. Like, if you're a junior dragster racer or super comp or any other class in the way, my thought process is pre-stage, and as soon as the other guy pre-stages, take a breath, and then start to stage. Whether you end up going in first or going in last, what it does is it allows you to dictate when you go in. If someone else goes and stages, well, he's in first, right? And now you gotta rush in, and I think it's more important. I can't.
Our question got left. Can you hand me that so I can see the question?
I can.
Okay, let's find a question. Can they just be like a yes or no question, please? Thank you.
Yes, no. I just go yes, 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 no, 3, yes, no.
Oh, look, you know that one.
What?
Jackie.
Hey, Jackie.
Or she
Anthony,
said to
you
tell
better not
Anthony.
tell your father.
You better tell that father of yours, Jackie, is on here and remind him he misses me. Well,
I
I miss
do.
you, and I miss that doggy of yours,
And
too.
congratulations to your husband on an awesome win yesterday. That was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
It was spectacular for a team to come out and run they got great data,
Wow.
obviously, but
Ooh, here's a good
it's
question.
pretty cool.
This is a really good one. Will Mike Neff still be your crew chief when you get back to racing? I hope so. He's awesome, and y'all make an awesome team.
We do, and yes, I just talked to him a few minutes ago.
Yeah.
He's fantastic. He's on loan over there helping, Tasca, and boy, man, they're doing a great job. So yeah, he's waiting every day. I mean, it's a long process finding someone that can step up and replace the Army. It's just, we're not out trying to get a quick deal. We're out trying to find the right one. People ask all the time, why don't you just put Schumacher Electric on the car? Why don't you just? It's not about that. Once you do that, it doesn't look like you have an issue anymore. We need people to understand we're looking for something. I'll sit on the side until it's time. I have had offers to drive other cars, and I don't want to do that. My father's been, the just so incredibly good to our whole team and tried to keep us together through all this adversity. So I think we not only owe it to him, but he's done a lifelong dream of mine. I wanted to race cars, since I was a kid, and here we are doing it as a team. And it makes Thanksgiving great when you win the race before. It makes it awful when you don't. But part of family, anyone that works, with their father or works with their family knows it's not the easiest thing to do.
This person said they drive a junior dragster and they want to drive a Top Fuel one day.
Yeah. It's so when
cool.
I grew up, there was no junior dragster. I started when I was 16 at Union Grove, Wisconsin. Great Lakes Dragway, and Broadway Bob and don't. One thing I'll tell you, the kids, don't rush. Enjoy every step. People ask in super comp racers, because I ran super comp for years, and they'll go, "What's it like?" And it's no more exciting to win in Top Fuel than it is in super comp. The win light's win light, and that goes for junior dragsters. When you win that trophy, you were the best of that day. Enjoy that. And 200 speeches a year. I talk about trophies all the time. I'm absolutely sure of this. The losing and hating the losing makes the winning great. So don't ever let anyone give you a fake trophy, man. Don't ever steal it. Don't ever do anything that jeopardizes your pride, because earning those trophies, the way you earn them, the discipline, the teamwork, and the blood, sweat, and tears is what makes it great. So I love when junior drivers ask questions. It is exciting. You guys got to do it since you were 5. I started racing when I was 16 years old.
This person says, Robert Hall, hey Tony, my stepdad is Tom Turkle. Just wanted to say hi. Can't wait to see you back racing.
Absolutely. And we kept Tom. That was another one of our guys. We got him working in different areas because we need him on my team. He's been doing the heads on my car since we set the world record. Since that car went out and ran 330 miles per hour. He's been there since day one when we started racing. So he's my longest. Me and him are the two anchors, man. We're the two that have been there since the beginning. It's cool.
I would like to briefly point out that, as old people do, he has, what is this called?
He was so embarrassed.
He doesn't even know what they're called.
CD rack.
He was like, we can't let people see that we have CDs.
They'll
think we're old.
My Harley still
and I said, no, they'll
I
think
gotta put a
you're
CD
old.
in there. I don't even know.
All right, where did we leave off?
I think we're nailing most of these.
All right, junior dragster, we covered that one?
Mm-hmm.
Somebody
Just
asked
did
him
that
if
one.
he could build a Pro Mod car. We didn't get to that one yet.
Ooh.
Build a pro.
Those are cool.
While you're
cars.
waiting, can
That's
you
fun.
do Pro Mod?
Yeah, I am
I'm
a
sure
pretty
someone
big fan
sponsor you
of,
hop in there.
those things
How
are
much does
pretty.
it cost to?
They're expensive cars, man. They're not cheap about those cars.
How does the the profit margin differ from like the big Top Fuel and funny car to like the smaller?
None of us make money. That's not about money, man. We drive the coolest car. You know what the coolest part about drag racing is, opposed to all other motorsports? Most of us have companies, to be honest, and the paycheck is. Don't make that. It's not about that. If you're a junior dragster driver and you think you're going to make it, it's just not what you do. Do it because you love it, man. It's a great sport. Do it because it's the baddest car in the world. When I was growing up, I did open wheel cars, and I could have gone in any direction. But a Top Fuel and a funny car, they're the two baddest cars in the world, bar none. Meanest machines on earth.
Jim Olson says, if offered a temporary ride, like a second Capco car while Billy isn't driving, would you consider it?
Yeah, we've talked. And the problem, of course I would drive if it's a safe car. I struggle with the fact that it's not a canopy car, because I've talked to Steve about it.
How much does it cost to switch over?
Well, I don't know that it'd be switching over. It's that they're not in tune with working on a car that weighs 45 pounds. My guys have worked day and night to take every, if you look at a Top Fuel car, you take all the body panels off. There's extra tabs and for different body. We've taken everything off. Every little piece. There's nothing. The amount of work my guys had to do on all three of our cars to make our car weigh what it weighs, to knock all that weight off, simply incredible. It's still going to weigh more in the middle, and if you put a canopy on one, and Steve didn't have a canopy, they just aren't going to act the same. Those two, Steve and his father, I've never seen a team, and we've had some of the best crew chiefs in the world. I've never seen a team where they can go out and run within a thousandth of a second like what they do. It's amazing.
So
look at what Brandy sent. This is our friend Brandy in Colorado. So Tony had a troll last night, and she said, "Did that guy delete his comment? The one you were talking about?"
Oh, I doubt it. Oh, okay. I'm gonna cover this for you.
She said, "I tried to write back to him, and I said if you had been watching the races on TV, you'd already know that Tony is working." And anyway, she said, "So did Tony delete that comment, or did the guy?"
Sometimes people post stuff, and I usually just read through it, and if it's rude or whatever, I just kind of blow it off. I honestly don't care. Haters are gonna hate, man. It's just the way it is. So
Later hater.
if if this one here, he deleted it himself.
I want.
They usually do delete themselves.
You read it after you wake up and go, "Oh, I sounded stupid," and that's okay. People are allowed to be stupid. So.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Not that, like, I don't want to give this guy attention because it's just so funny. I can't ignore it. This guy was basically like, I don't remember who the person was, but they were like, "Hey, if you're not driving, then stop wasting time with this podcast crap. Like, don't
post anything."
Yeah, you're not like stop
Don't
posting
post
pictures
anything.
unless it has to do with racing. Like, we don't care.
And what was your response that you were going to tell him? Oh, don't wimp out now.
I don't remember what you said. You said, "Yeah, do it." I said,
You were gonna tell him to
and
do
I was
what
gonna.
to you?
I specifically said, "I'll handle it."
probably kiss my. I don't know.
Yeah, it was something along those lines.
I don't care. I'm allowed to do this, and you know what? If you like it, you can tune into it, and if you don't, well, guess what?
There are 60
Tune
people
out.
watching right now that
cool.
I'm gonna
When
take
I
a
was gonna
guess
say,
and say
can
that.
I do it?
59. Excuse me.
Oh, he signed off.
Yeah.
I got the burp.
Wait, is that me? Oh God. That's too
No, my
funny.
favorite was this one lady got on there and she wrote like this long. I mean, the longest rant about him calling himself the Sarge and on and on and on about this and how horrible he was. And it was this long paragraph and he simply wrote back, "If you don't want to call me Sarge, you can always just call me 8-time champ." And I busted out laughing and it got like 50 thumbs ups on and she deleted it. And I was like, dang! That was such a good one.
The best snapback in
It was
all
such a
of
burn.
Facebook history,
Yeah.
and she deleted her comment making that.
She did.
Oh, I've had people. Look, man, I've been driving a long time. Coletta and me have had battles, man. Me and Hot Rod, and me and Antron. And if you're an Antron fan or a Coletta fan, and I've beat you, I've won a championship, and you might not like me. I get it. Maybe you were the last one in line, and I didn't get to sign your. I don't.
The thing that confused me about the guy that wrote that is like he seemed to be a fan of yours. He seemed to be like, hey.
He said, "I'm your biggest fan." He came back and said that. I'm like, wow, with fans like that, who needs enemies?
Yeah. Jesus.
The thing is, I'm not. I've driven for 25 years in Top Fuel. If I can come on and do these things, which I never wanted. My friend Christopher Titus is like, "You got to do podcasts. You know everything about racing. You've got to teach the younger generations. Talk to the fans. It's a great way to get out there." And so, really, that's why I'm doing this. But in time, if I can teach a young kid how to drive a car a little better, a little safer, and I'm off because I don't have a sponsor, why wouldn't I? This is a great time to do it.
We're gonna move on.
That was important.
That was sure.
It was very important.
Where was I? Sorry.
No, where was I? Now it's
Angela De Jesus says,
Okay.
"What did you think of Jasmine's reaction to your 2000 crash?" Was that the video of the?
Yeah. I got a video. She had asked if I had crashed, and I thought it was darling. She was crying though. I don't like.
Yeah. It was
But I mean, I was probably crying when I crashed too. I don't know. I don't remember. I was knocked out.
Yeah.
I was sleeping. I got to go for a helicopter ride for $22,000.
Oh gosh, you have to tell him one day the story about you in the mall with your jacked up teeth and your eyeballs.
I literally had knocked my teeth out, so I had fangs and blood red eyes and a cast on my leg. And I was dropped in the middle of the mall, so that
He had to entertain himself somehow. And so, what were you in a wheelchair?
I was in a wheelchair, and I just
With his sunglasses on.
and people would walk by and look at me, and I would just pull my glasses down and go like a vampire. All that was left were my two
His
canines.
blood red eyes and
Blood
the
red
two.
eyes. They were literally blood. That was.
That's how he
apparently-
entertained himself after his crash. So.
All right. Here's a good one. What is your most memorable Top Fuel Championship trophy out of all of the 8 that you've earned through blood, sweat, and tears, and why?
Gosh.
I'm
All right.
reading.
We might get you checked for glasses.
No, dyslexia.
Dyslexia.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the run, undoubtedly was the greatest. It is going down as the best run in the history of the sport. But
I'm gonna see if that's
my first championship, we won it by winning one race. My first race ever, and we did that in such a cool way. We got to Indy. I was racing Selzy, Amato and Bernstein and Mike Dunn and Doug Herbert and just a slew of great cars. And it was so unique because we hadn't won a race, and when we got to Indy, there were 10 drivers that could leave Indy alone with the points lead, and we ended up beating Mike Dunn in the semis, taking the championship at the end of the year, winning one race, and it was so many different ways. And then Alan Johnson leaves, we're written off. We're not going to. Not only are we going to win a championship, we're not going to ever win another race. Alan Johnson's the only reason we won anything, and we go out with Mike Green, hire a new crew chief, get Mike Green, new guys, go to testing in West Palm. The first time, go to start the car, and it doesn't start. And I called the whole team aside. I said, I'm going to just tell you something. Remember this moment, because at the end of the year, when we're getting the World Champ trophy, this car didn't start right now. And that's what we're going to go through. We ended up, we get to race them. I think we raced them in Houston against Alan Johnson, Larry Dixon.
Is this 2007?
No, this was 2009. AJ had left. He formed his own team. First time, and we're going to run Dixon. I think we beat him on a hole shot, but it was this close. It was like one of them things where we have a new team. We only get to race against Alan Johnson the first time once. That's it. It's the first time. And to go out and beat them, and man, it was just spectacular. It was just a championship in all different ways. So when they asked me about the one, I'm going to have to say the run because the uniqueness of it and the people and the situation, the earth had to rotate, the clouds had to come, they had to cool down, and everything. It's like the movie. There's a movie.
It's pretty crazy.
What movie do I always talk about? Is like that.
What is it?
Facing the Giants, football movie. It's a cute little movie, little Christian movie about football and some little town, and I think up in Georgia. But it's the same thing. Like everything had to be right for that to run. So
banging the gong next.
When I do this,
get a
I
little
didn't
gong.
stop. We got a whole.
A lot of questions.
Hi, Tony and family. I'm a fan from Reading, Pennsylvania. My favorite memory is when you were signing autographs and another fuel car started, and I couldn't breathe, and you took us into her trailer.
Oh, that's nice.
That's very sweet. I didn't know you did that.
Well, that stuff stinks. It burns your eyes. Trust me, you don't get used to it. You can. I watch my crew.
In the car, is it like immune to that? Like, what's the deal?
No, it's not. In an open.
How do you
if
see?
You're not
How
in
do
the
you see
canopy.
tree?
Well, it's not blown. It's blown away from you. It's behind you.
But still, like
Every now and then you get you do the
burnout.
burnout and you back up and it tears you up. But now I'm in the canopy. I don't get any of that. Another advantage.
I cry several times a day.
It's brutal, man. That stuff stinks. It's man, pretty powerful stuff. Next, cut that short.
Cindy
job,
Lowe says, "So fun to see you and your family. Best race
What's up,
I've been
guys?
to is Phoenix 330. What do you think? Wait, what did that feel like? Cause." And she stops.
It was
What
good.
did that feel like? Cause.
It was fast.
Oh, cuz.
She's my cousin.
Oh my God.
So there's a Z at the end, yeah. Man, we were making good runs. The run before, or 2 runs before it, we had a different wing on it, and it had a lot of curvature, and they made us take it off. We took it off, and it carried the wheels for a long, long time, and it was just a phenomenal run. It was, again, 4 miles per hour faster than anyone had gone at that time. So, and we hadn't won a race yet. It took us that whole year to win my first race. Went to 9 finals before I won. And man, let me tell you something. People that go out and win their first race, good for you, cool. But man, you lose 9 finals. It's pretty spectacular. And I was losing that one again to Scott Coletta at Dallas, end of the year. And Scott was pulling away, and I'm thinking, you know what? I'm not liking this again. And then his car disappeared.
That was the first time you went 330?
No, that was the first time I won a race. Yeah, following that 330 run though, we knew when you ran 330, we knew we had a good car, and we just did something that no one else had done. The Alan Johnsons hadn't done. No one, it was awesome.
Brandy LeBlanc.
Yeah, that's Brandy, our friend in Colorado.
Says, will you show us your trophy behind you and tell us a little bit about each memory? Do you want to take the camera up a bit, or?
Here, I'll just move out of the way. Let's see.
Here, wait, move out and I'll zoom in for you. Uh-oh, battery's running low.
Plug in.
Right.
Battery sure
The
will.
one here, right here, that is 19. The
2014.
yeah,
That was
the two ones on the end, 04 and 05, Ellen Johnson had just,
Here,
our
move
first
out of the way.
two.
I got an extreme close.
our first
Oh
two.
my gosh.
You know, we have, there's 4 more of them somewhere.
Oh,
What?
up there? What's?
No, those are just,
No, those are just Wally's.
yeah.
And there's a bunch of them back there.
But the big one in the middle, the big one on the right in the middle is my last championship, and that was 2014.
On the right in the middle? Oh, yeah.
Goes with this ring with the big.
I like the new look of the...
Yeah, I think that it's cool that they're different. They have a couple that were shorter, kind of look like Swiss cheese. I had 2 of those that are somewhere, and man, they're cool.
Yeah.
Each one was different. This one here, you know, I don't have my 2009 one or 2008 one. 2008, we won 15 races in a year, and I'm watching Torrance do this. You know, he's out there winning like we had that 2008 season. It was nobody could beat us. It was just an unstoppable car, man. And you know, I get asked about them all the time. The truth is, their team's just performing flawless. When Steve needs to step up, he does his job. When the car has to perform and Steve's off, you know, it's good to watch. You know, it's frustrating for anyone that's not a Steve Torrance fan, and people are waiting for the car that gets back there. I'm hoping it's me. You know, I mean, I truly am. Last year, we had a good car. We came out at the end of the year. We were really performing. We finished number 2, and we were performing as well as he was. The car was starting out running. So
he was performing phenomenal.
at the end of the year, he won every race in the countdown.
Yeah,
One
that's
thing
crazy.
we've never done.
That's
It was,
crazy.
you know, bravo. And you know, as a
really good.
respectable driver, I can say this: I'm proud of what he's done. I mean, I know how hard it is. What his team has put together is simply amazing. It's worth the price of admission to watch that greatness happen.
Does the camera work good? Everyone's...
Dwight
I
said
don't think-
our audio went out a little bit, but it's better now.
Okay,
So he's
Okay.
texting
Probably
me
because
updates.
we stood
that's
up.
good.
Yeah.
I honestly, realistically, I should have headphones plugged in at all times because you can't plug one into
We're
this.
gonna look like the Howard Stern show.
Yeah.
We're not sure how this all works. I hope this is, you know, we're getting some questions answered. We're going to run out of these questions, and we're going to have to do some other things. So we'll.
Hey, Kayla Hess said during a podcast you should take a few minutes to play the guitar.
Oh.
Telephone rang.
No,
got a
not
call,
that
man.
one. Please no.
She heard his voice on
The other,
other
that's just
end
not
of
the
line.
pitch, Dan.
Okay,
He practiced
George
that
Strait.
for like 6 months.
if you're
straight.
watching, give us a ring, man. We're big fans.
Yeah.
I know.
Trade a helmet for
We're
probably fine.
big.
I know. I'll trade you a helmet for a guitar. Not one of these though. These are really good. Unless you give me a real guitar. Well, we'll work those details
He'll
out.
trade you me
Have
for
your
a
people
guitar.
call my people.
And I know the answer is yes to this. It's interesting. Any pre-race rituals?
Oh yeah, always tap the parachutes, bang my head on the rear wing. Always say a prayer. You know, I mean, if you're gonna meet the maker, you might as well say hello first. That's. I'm going 330 miles an hour. You just don't know. Hate to forget once and then find out. Darn it.
Dang.
That's a requirement. You know.
You start falling instead of floating.
Yeah. What's going on?
Um,
I don't know which one of those pre-race things works, but I'm
Why
going
did-
to take a chance. So.
Why did DSR get out of PS and PSM?
That's a really
What
good
is that?
question. Man.
Yes,
Pro
yes.
stock and pro stock
Ah,
motorcycle.
yeah.
It just wasn't our forte, man. It was we did our best, but we weren't really competing. You know, those pro stock teams, man, they got phenomenal fab shops. They're engineering every day, and they just had we just separated. You know, go ahead, got a good one.
Favorite food before a race?
Oh God.
Not pizza.
I do love pizza.
No, not before a race.
I don't even care. I love pizza a lot.
Papa John's, give us a call. On the next podcast, we'll be eating a pizza if it's free.
That sounds good right now. We should go get some.
Honestly, it does.
He eats everything. By the way, I'm cooking, so you ain't getting no pizza for dinner.
Oh, yeah.
Chicken wing day.
It's National Chicken Wing Day, so I'm making my famous chicken wings.
Mm-hmm. Cane Chicken, call us. Mm-hmm. We're good. We're right down the road, man.
King Chicken?
Yep. Well, am I not allowed to say that because I'm not sponsored?
Who's King Chicken?
Canes.
Oh, Raising Cane's.
Raising
King
Cane.
Chicken.
I'd say King. Man, you guys with your silly accents.
Bless him.
Yeah, bless
Yep.
me. What do we got?
Justin Goffnet says Kara is autistic and calls Tony her boyfriend.
Aww.
Oh.
That's the
who's
sweetest
Chewy?
thing ever.
Cindy Lowe says Chewy's right. Who's Chewy?
Chewy.
Is he calling one of us Chewy? Probably me, because I'm always right. What? Cindy Lowe.
What's
Says
the
Chewy's
best
right.
thing Summer cooks? Oh, God.
Okay,
like
the
cowboy
chicken wings
chili.
are up there.
Yeah.
Oh, the chili's great. Okay, we
Everything's
can't
pretty
choose
good.
something. What are we going to choose?
I don't know.
You're making me choose what.
What's your favorite thing that you cook? Because Summer's gluten-free and...
Gluten and dairy free, but I still cook normal food for them. I
Yeah,
just
she-
don't
she
eat
makes
it.
a
I just
separate
cook
pot for her
two
stuff.
different things.
Every day.
Yeah. My favorite thing is something I've never made for y'all because I can't make it. I don't cook from recipes. I cook from taste.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't taste it. It's chicken and dumplings. And I used to make it so good.
Gosh, dude.
And so I said one day I'm just going to make it and I'm going to suck it up and I may be in bed for a day because I have to lick the spoon, but I'm going to make them some chicken
Well, I love
dumplings.
chicken dumplings.
Yeah.
And I make them from scratch. I don't use biscuits or that crap you buy at the store. No, I roll out the dumplings and boil a chicken and make the stock and everything.
Hey,
so.
we should get like a stand for this so it's above this.
His
You can
crashing
actually see
stuff?
the...
Well,
yeah,
we
the
didn't know we
helmet.
were going to do it in here today. We just got up and said the dining room table wasn't right. We'll figure it out. We're just, if you get
Summer
to,
looks like what?
Brie Larson from Captain Marvel. Ooh!
Is that a compliment
I
or
think-
an insult?
I think so, but
Google.
that's just not a good movie. I'm sorry to any Captain Marvel fan. Are there many?
she thinks, who do you think, who are your two people you're the most
I
like?
always hear Ruby Rose when my hair is different and Scarlett Johansson. Those are the two I hear the most. I'm going to have to Google that one. But if that's a
Oh,
compliment, thank you.
I put a colon after this because I was going to put in a... on the title. Sorry, guys. I was going to make a title for it. I guess we should put one in after.
Navarro, what's happening, man? Is there a weight limit for Top Fuel? Yeah, there's a weight limit for Top Fuel. Funny car, you have to be over it. I mean, if you're light a half a pound, the run's thrown out. And if you pass the scales as we did in Vegas one year, we lost a shootout because of it. It was
Oh,
terrible.
I'll take that as a compliment. It's the lady that plays her.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And Sarah, our friend Sarah that lives in Katy, she says, watching you guys tonight, and Tony's doing a good job. What about me and Anthony?
yeah,
Are we
dude,
chopped
we're pretty
liver,
sick.
Sarah?
What are you talking about?
Golly. Next.
Dad, you gotta leave the podcast.
I
and you have a
seriously
moment in the
was
sun.
just gonna, I'm like, if I do a podcast and it's just me, I get sick of just talking about racing. We gotta.
That's
talk
not
about
very
other-
apparent.
Shit. I love racing, and I'm trying to just, but over the course of the years, if we're gonna do this, it's got to be other subjects, man. Maybe we'll,
Oh, yeah.
You do
So,
have to do a garage tour one day.
We'll do a garage tour.
I don't want to
It's not.
push anything, but
I'll
maybe
clean
you
the
could
garage
have
first.
Jesse on one for...
He,
Also, I was thinking about Chris, because he's Austin Speed Shop. He has a lot of cool insider stuff there.
he's in a different place.
Not
now.
anymore.
Well, I know, I understand, but
Mhm.
just talk about what his
Yeah, for
experiences
sure,
there
man.
were.
Yeah, I got a lot of cool buddies. A lot of guys that know what they're doing, and
More than
I
you
think,
do.
Well, for
Like, they
mechanically,
really-
for sure. I mean,
Yeah.
look, Jesse James, man, he can build. He's a guy who can reinvent himself any day. He knows how to.
Very cool.
He knows how to fabricate and make, and he comes up with some brilliant ideas. So, some of my collection of.
Yeah, we could do one like out in the garage, and he could do like a tutorial or I don't know something.
We get all kinds of stuff, man. I got all our sponsors over the years. Lincoln Welders has sent me some of the coolest stuff. If any of you guys know how to weld, I'm learning. It's just I had a year off, and when you got a year off, you can sit around and pout about it. You go out and learn to do all the things you want to do. So
He's
both
actually,
of us
he
learned
actually
to
got
weld.
good at welding. He hasn't done it in a while,
I-
but he was getting
I wouldn't
good.
weld a race car that I'm going to drive,
No.
but I learned to weld. I can make metal stick together, and better than I could a year ago. So.
I took a welding class, and from it I just taught him a couple little things, and that he just shot up. Like,
that's really how things go, because he is such a sweet daddy. Like, Anthony can take one class, like underwater basket weaving. He's going to go to the basket weaving store and buy everything they have, and he's going to bring it all home and be like, here you go. So he took a welding class. We got a welder. We got all
plasma cutter.
Yeah.
That was crazy. I haven't even used that
It's
yet.
so sweet. He supports his kids.
That is awesome.
Very
Pretty cool
well.
stuff.
It's so cute.
I think we're getting long, huh?
It's 59 minutes.
What do we got?
Wait, yeah, we haven't been
No, we've missed a
the
lot.
weight limit. Chewy's is a burrito place. Oh, thank you.
Oh, yeah,
Chewy's
Chewy's.
is a burrito
Used to
place.
sing karaoke there. Yeah, in Phoenix. That's right.
You sang karaoke?
I sang karaoke there. Back when I drove for the
I'm
Peak
so
Brothers.
sorry.
Matter of fact, my friend Mike Lewis, that works on our team, vice president, he sent me a picture. He goes, we need to get back to those days. I had a pair of jeans on, an old baseball hat. We were racing in Phoenix, and we were at Chewy's singing it at, man.
Here's a question. Tony, why does your dad not sponsor you for Top Fuel like he did Spencer Massey?
Well, we can't. We do a lot of business with a lot of great people, and part of our sponsorship issue is this. I could go to a lot of places we sell battery chargers to and talk to them about sponsorship, but we have Napa. We can't conflict. We can't. We have oil company. We have Mopar. We have Matco Tools. We have all the major auto stuff covered. So I got to go outside the box, and there's a lot of people out there. And you know what the sport needs? They need the outside the box. If Schumacher Electric sponsors me, we already have a huge part of the market. We're not going to grow. We're not. It's just not what we do. And for my dad, it's not the process. We put the name on the car when a sponsor wouldn't be there for a race. We didn't put it on there as for a whole year. It was just something that it's not our thing. Good question, and I'm asked that a lot.
Are your children friends with other racers' kids? Yeah, actually, my sister, and then he says that you can see the smaller kids like Cam that have friends and are growing up together.
Oh, yeah, he's so cute.
Yeah, especially when we were little, we'd go to a lot of the races with him, and we made a lot of friends. Like, a lot of other drivers' kids would come together, and it was like a little club. It was fun. But to this day, I think Jackie Snapchats, my sister, excuse me, 4 years younger than me, she Snapchats Antron's kid. Like, I think they have a streak, like daily or something like that.
Oh, that's cool. One of her streaks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Like, it's a super long streak, but
that's funny.
Yeah.
Antron's a good guy, man. I know he's got really good following, a lot of good people. He's
a sweetheart.
Absolutely flawless driver. He's an athlete by nature, and he just does a great job.
Super nice guy, too.
And just
Antron's
a freaking
great.
Nice guy.
Yeah.
Like, he just is. I don't know what else to say.
He's
just
a fantastic,
a nice guy.
Absolutely.
Great entertainer. He's good at everything he tries. What is your favorite thing that you've gotten a chance to do with the family since you're out of the race car?
Just be here. I've been gone again. I made all their births, but very few of their birthdays. Always gone. Mm-hmm. This is great. We got to go look up Texas A&M.
That was
fun. I got to be there. Go do it instead of normally calling and checking in on how it went. Yeah. Man, just lots of boat days, and I catch flack. Some of the fans be like, you shouldn't be on the boat. You should be working on sponsors. We all have cell phones.
He always is.
I'm on it all the time.
He'll be in the middle of skiing and be like, hold on.
Hang on, I gotta take this call.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And then, I'll say safely, I don't know if this is while you were out of the car, but for some reason, remember that day where we just boiled some eggs, then we left some uncooked, and then we played a game where it was like Russian roulette, and we go around and...
Great game.
It was amazing.
You got it. You can't tell if they're boiled or not, so you boil half of them, and you got to reach in, and I can't remember how the game is played, and you got crack it on your head, and if it's hard boiled,
it's pretty self-explanatory, but God, it's a lot of fun.
They play a lot of interesting games. My favorite is the one where they wear no shirts and they hit each other with ping pong balls.
We won't be doing that one.
There you go. Sting pong.
We probably shouldn't be doing that one. I'll have to check with the lawyers.
You get sponsored Forrest Gump style.
Well, it's just great because the ping pong balls are bouncing off the walls. It's just fun.
Yeah.
Andrew Andrew MCD 2000 says, so those CDs, what music are we rocking?
Actually, I think most of a lot of those are DVDs actually. I got a lot of my mom when my mom passed away. I just grabbed all her stuff. Me and her were all about music. We were just so a lot of those are old country,
like classic country.
Man, I listen to my iPod is full of. I have Metallica on there. I have Disturbed on there. I have the Playa Vita. And then I have all the country.
I think that's
everything in between.
He can act out Evita.
Yeah, no, he can play by play.
He can tell you all about Evita.
I don't think it's a good memory. It's the fact that you've listened to it.
But you and your mom watched Evita, right?
Well, and I was grounded from like when I was 10 to
now
18.
To now,
There was a little window. And
he's never technically been ungrounded. He's still.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he ever actually said I was free. But I just left.
I think you're still grounded.
You went straight from your room to military school.
I've had a lot of. Yeah.
That was like the ultimate grounding. Was that how long was it? Years?
Most of them. Unfortunately. The dog barking. This microphone's so
you
good.
can probably hear Rambo barking because he was in.
I messed with the settings until I turned down some stuff and turned up some stuff, and you can't hear like background sound that you can.
Well, Rambo is super bossy.
Yeah, Rambo.
Just so you know, he's very bossy.
All DSR drivers are great people.
That's true.
Yeah, Sammy Hagar. There's a question in there. You're gonna be seeing him. He's so much fun. Michael Anthony too. His bass player has been for a long time. That band, they're just
oh my gosh, they're such nice guys.
Awesome people, and I got to go up on stage with Vault talking about karaoke in Chicago at House of Blues, and we had a great time, hung out, and then his wife pushed me out on stage and they played I Can't Drive 55, and I thought I knew the words, but here's the thing about it, there's a lot of words. I knew the part at the end, I Can't Drive 55.
You just knew that one part, the good part?
My friend was texting me, he goes, hey man, you don't know the words. I'm like, hey man, I'm on stage with Sammy Hagar.
Just make it
I
up.
win. It doesn't matter.
Cheers, no one's going to hear it. That's a long one, I'll let you read that on your own.
I heard John Force go on a rant in reference to millions of dollars he spent in R&D, money and waste because nature is going to change the rules, make it smaller. Now, okay. The question basically is saying here, John Force rant and rave about all the money he spends in research and development, and now NHRA is going to change the rules. We always change the rules. NHRA, they do that. That's, cars are going fast, and they try to slow it down, and then we come up with a new way. It's part of our job. We develop cars, and we make them go fast, and then that technology goes in your Dodges and your Mopars and stuff you buy on the street. We give them, that's what we do. That's why we work so well together. So developing will never end. NHRA will never stop trying to slow us down.
You're just going to keep going faster.
We just keep spending the money and doing it. That's why the sponsorships are so expensive. It used to be a different world, man, but now it's expensive to develop. And it's, here's a new word, exponential, right?
Dude, I learned that in 6th grade, Pa.
Okay, I didn't. But
you didn't learn it until
my
last
teacher knew it in
minute.
6th
He
grade.
learned a new word.
I use it all the time. But the quicker you go, the more money it's going to take to go a little quicker.
It's one of those 3 big words.
When we ran,
Don't use all your big words in one podcast.
Yeah, snuffleupagus is a...
What are you going to do next time?
Czechoslovakia, and I can almost spell it.
Oh, God.
CHE.
I love it when you say those big words.
CZ.
See, I screwed it up from the get-go.
Yeah, whatever.
CZ Echo. CZ Echo. I remember that. Anyway, this is fun. We're gonna probably get too long. We gotta cut it off at some point because I want some chicken wings. Now I want some dumplings and a little pizza. But we got any last minute questions here?
What's country line dance?
Somebody wanted you to get up and line dance, and now Brandy said she texted it to me.
Oh yeah, Brandy, she did. I'm not going to do that. Not this time. I'll study it.
Next time we're going to open with that.
We're not going to open
what that
with
is.
that. We're not
Yeah,
gonna.
sure we won't. You're going to you got all week to practice it, dude.
Yeah, good question. Have you been if I've been close to any of the drivers that have passed? Daryl Russell was a very, very, very good friend of mine.
His wife is so sweet.
Yeah, Julie still lives up here. I think it's Tomball, Texas.
Tomball, Texas.
Somewhere up in that neck of the woods.
That's by Houston.
Eric Medlin was an awesome guy. Lost Blaine Johnson in my first race, so I wasn't friends with him. I just started that day. And it's Scott Collette. Me and him battled. We had a lot of battles, but mutual respect for what we both did, and It's a terrible thing. It's part of our risk. They're a lot safer than they used to be. It's been a long time, and knock on wood, we'll keep it that way. My dad, and thanks to guys like my dad and the people that, have worked so hard to keep us safe, and we appreciate it. I do. Yep.
All right. Yeah. I think we're gonna wrap it up here.
Big teams have helped small teams. Yes, we always do. We share information with them, and when they're struggling, we don't want them to oil the track down, man. That's one of the biggest things we worked on. We want them to be safe, have the right parts. We build 400 parts at DSR. So, but anyway, thank you guys for joining in again. With my co-hosts here. We're having fun.
I'm your producer, Dad.
My producer.
She's the eye candy.
Eye candy.
I'll take
the
it.
intelligence.
She's the magician's
intelligence
assistant.
and the producer.
I could be intelligent.
So are you the eye candy?
Yes.
Ooh.
I'm the eye candy.
Sure. Yeah.
Anyway.
He's got one button down.
Did I do it wrong? No.
Well, we didn't want to tell you.
Yeah.
Oh,
we weren't
You're
gonna.
serious? No, that's right. Oh, that'd be terrible.
You look beautiful, baby.
Yeah.
Anywho, it's going to be a little bit
Look
over
at
a
that.
week. It's going to be.
It's chest hair popping out.
Did you have a wardrobe malfunction on your second podcast?
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, God.
We're gonna have
Oh, it's funny,
wardrobe
Justin.
malfunctions
Yeah,
every
we
time.
are.
Ask Tony about Kara picking up. She picks me up every time at the races. She runs in and gives me a bear hug. Just picks me up. Funny.
Dwayne says, "Love you, some."
Oh, I love you too,
I
Dwayne.
told you. I knew you were looking at that dress.
Dwayne is my biggest fan. You leave him alone.
All right, before this feud escalates any further, we're gonna cut it off.
Peace
See you
out, man.
guys.
See you in a week. Too funny.
Hold on, it's not stopping.
Oh, no.
Hold on. Oh God,
Oh, no.
We're gonna know everything about our entire lives.
Oh, no.